Good afternoon, one and all present here. Today with us, Mrs. Pranjali S. Bahalkar. She is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Technology, Pune. She, she secured Master of Computer Engineering at Bharati Vidyapit, Deem University, Pune, India. She is currently pursuing PhD in NILM University, Delhi. She has worked more than 9 years and have 9 years of experience. She has published more number of papers in the national and international conference, such as Scopus or Web Science papers. She has published book chapters, copyrights, patents. Her area of interest includes artificial intelligence, machine learning, software engineering, information technology. She is the member of IANG. So I welcome Pranjali madam for
Thank you,
ATAL
ma'am.
FDP. Okay. Ma'am, you can start now.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. Today's faculty development program is now focused on the AI-powered healthcare emerging technologies and innovation, which is arranged by the Dr. Diva Patil Institute of Technology, Pimpri, Pune. This program actually aimed the faculty with the knowledge and the practical insights how the artificial intelligence is the transforming the healthcare domain. Basically, the what is the importance of the healthcare domain, and what is exactly the use and requirement of AI in that domain. We will see all the related points. I will not teach you, or will not any type of give the seminar. We will discuss these points. The and actually, this topic is important for the uh, today's world because of the some challenges and some issues is now faced in the medical domain. That's why we discussed some important points to related to the medtech in today's lecture. The key discussion include that the predictive analytics, AI integration with EHR system, then automation in the your total hospital operations, then digital health assistance, then ethics consideration. This all the points is now highlighted in the real time applications, which is very important to that healthcare domain, then hospitality domain, and the most important part is now economic benefits in your current market, in your current industry, and your future opportunities also. And then this applications and this AI is now improving the patient care, client improvement, clinical improvement. Uh, okay, and clinical improvement, diagnosis, and treatment of delivery. Then, okay, then I have shared my slides. It's visible. Okay. Then now the applications of AI across healthcare sectors in the 2025, the revolutionary patient care, diagnosis, and medical operations in World Wide Web. These are the simple keynote points in the today's session. The main important topic is applications of the total across healthcare sectors. We will see some related point first. The AI is now transforming the healthcare by making the diagnosis faster. Then after that, the improving the treatment accuracy. Then after that, reducing the doctor's workload. Basically, this is a very important type, means important concept. It helps the hospitals imagining drug development, public health, remote patient care. These are the basic requirement which is fulfill our AI. And then after that, the AI is also automate the administrative all the tasks and which is very headache to all the departments. the saving time, cost while improving the overall quality of our total healthcare services. The basic important question is that these are the different types of applications, which is the requirement of that current industry. These are the different multiple challenges, multiple issues is now happening in our current market. But why AI is required in healthcare? Because of the today is also now ongoing na healthcare. No, we face some issues, but they are not exactly represent in our in person total environment cycle. So why AI is now required in healthcare? The AI basically needed in the healthcare to make the medical services is now faster, more accurate, and basically the more accessible for everyone, which is very rigor that all the things. It helps the doctors detect disease early in the doctor point of view, and they give the personalized treatment, which is the homemakers, and then they reduce the human error. These are the basic requirement in your AI in the healthcare. It also saves the time and cost by automating all the total domain concept. Then routing work, life scheduling, and documentation. It's a very easy. Then the AI is now useful in our total healthcare domain is improves the patient care and helps to reach the people in remote and underobserved all the areas. And this is very important concept. And how exactly we will overcome that all the concepts we will see in our different topics. Basically, in the 2025, AI healthcare sector is now playing the big role to improve the healthcare. Multiple resources, multiple concept, and the multiple opportunities which is available in the global market. Then our central government, our state government also provide a lot of multiple activities, multiple things which is applicable to our health domain to healthcare domain is now more efficient to and more effective to make that all the things. But it helping basically it is helping the doctors and hospitals work faster, make better decisions, and to provide the more accurate treatment. It being used to the many areas like the diagnosis, patient care, drug discovery, hospital management. In this way, it reduces the human errors and the save the time, making the healthcare is now more sufficient and more effective. This is the a total domain of current sector 2025. AI basically why we use the AI. The AI is now helps to reach the people in remote areas, making the quality healthcare available to all and everyone, which is now the rural area, which is now the uh, each and every section in our country. Then this technology is truly changing the way of your healthcare system is now work. And this is the simple applications of our healthcare in the sector 2025. Then these are the different real-time applications. Today's our topic is now the applications in our AI domain. Then different types. These are the different areas where the AI is now useful. The first is now the AI in patient care. The AI patient care means that AI is now helps to doctors and the nurses take care of our patients to the all the patients, which is the virtual health assistant. Okay, using the virtual assistant means that your chatbot. We know that the chatbot is now easily available in our all the websites, and then this is the way to use then the chatbot and the voice assistant can answer the basic health questions, and after that they remind the patients to take the medicines and even appointment and to take the schedules. For example, is now suppose any app, medical related app, we use we refer the patient. Okay, and the patient is now asked to that AI, when should I take my medicine? Suppose this is a diabetic patient, and then the regularity and the discipline is very now uh, uh, required for that patient. That's why the patient asked, and that this app and they ask then when should I take my diabetes medicine? The app is now give the correct time and the accurate medicines, and after they gives the total reminders, and the same the reminders is now daily. Then remote patient monitoring, like your wearable devices like the smartwatches. Watches also very applicable to check the heart rate, oxygen, our sugar level, and after that, or the doctor's prescription, which is doctors is now use that patient, but the US smartwatches is now use the notifications. These are the simple AI patient care. Then the second is now AI in medical diagnosis. How exactly medical diagnosis is uses AI, artificial intelligence, and the system is detect now the disease is the faster and the more accurate in the now humans sometimes. Okay. For example, is that medical images analysis. We know that what is exactly the pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is now useful to identify and to recognize all the images like your X-ray images, MRI images, CT scan images to find the early signs and to find out the lacuna of that total images and what is exactly the prediction value of that total disease. This is the AI is now useful to identify the diagnosis using the images, and then after that it is the medical diagnosis in use your lab also. Medical laboratory gives the laboratory, and then that sample is now using the digital images to detect the disease. This is the simple way to medical diagnosis. Then after that, the AI in drug discovery, drug discovery and its development. This is a very crucial part in our actually the real-time applications. How exactly the AI drug discoveries mean that the predicting the drug effects. How exactly the predicting the drug effects is that suppose the creating the any new medicine usually takes a year. AI is now speed up that process. Means the making process of that medicine, the AI helps to improve the its efficiency, its production, its value, its accuracy in this way. I think predicting the drug effects is now suppose we take an example of our COVID-19. Okay. AI is now helped to find out the possible COVID-19 drug molecule faster than the traditional lab system. And then this is the AI is very useful to predicting the drug effects. Means that the AI model can predict which chemical will be the best, gives the best result at the best disease disease accuracy for the testing. And then this is the helpful. Then after that, reducing the cost also in the drug discovery, reducing the time and the reducing the cost also. The simulations of the test thousands of the combinations of the computer instead of the real labs. And this is very useful. The AI reduces the 10 years research into the 2 years in the virtual experiments. This is very impactful. Then after that, the robotics assistance also useful in your drug discovery. Robotic assistance means it helps to the complex surgeries. It's a very fine cuts and stitches. Then training the doctors. AI-based simulation system is now useful to the doctors to give the surgeon a training to the surgeon to perform the knee replacement also in this way. This is the example. Then after that, our new the new real-time application is now AI in hospital administration. The AI actually the hospital administration is the important key part is that the appointment and the bed management. It's a very important part to the healthcare domain. Then AI is now helps to the hospitals that run smoothly and very efficiently. The AI is now predict the patients to load and schedule the staff, and then the beds is now accordingly. For example, is that the AI is now means your artificial intelligence is now predicts when more patients will come during the flu seasons, and where we prepare the hospital staff in advance when our climate is now changes, when the multiple doctors, multiple nurses is now required, what exactly the season of that total disease. These are the prediction. It is very useful to hospital management, hospital administration. And after that, not only but also the billing and the insurance process is also very beneficial. The AI, how exactly it is the AI check bills, detects the errors and speed up the insurance policies, insurance approaches when it is very useful to the common and our simple regular people. Then after now that the pandemic control, the AI is the global health and pandemic control. We already discussed that drug discoveries. In the drug discoveries, the new invention of drug, it's a very important role to play AI, because in the example we already saw that the COVID-19 drug discovery is where happens only for the using the uh, AI. Okay. Then the same as the AI global health and pandemic control, the AI supports the health system worldwidely to prevent and manage the large scale diseases. The large scale diseases means that it provides the early disease detection and vaccine distribution. The AI disease detection is now the AI studies social media posts, health records, and the travel data to detect the new outbreaks early. These are the simple way which is the early detection is possible. For example, is now the AI is detected unusually the pneumonia cases in China before the COVID-19, which is the spread globally. This is a simple example, and this is the all people is know that. And then after that, the AI global health and pandemic control is the mostly is now the vaccine distribution. The vaccine distribution is helps to the distribution. Vaccine is very efficiently. The AI is gives the maps with the high infection rates and the send more number of vaccine to that particular domain. This is the useful the AI in your global health and pandemic controls and the infected areas also. Then the next is now AI in medical health. The AI tools is detect and manage the medical health issues. That like you were the chatbot. The chatbot also it's a way uh, chatbot for therapy. AI apps is a talk like a feeling the stress, very depressed, and this is the condition of the human. Then AI provide the support to that person. Example is that VOBot. The VOBot is now the one example. The VOBot chat is now the usually daily track to their person mood, their suggest copying the different types of techniques, its behavior, its total analysis, and then it provides the personalized mental health prediction values. And then a voice and emotions analysis also in your image processing, in your pattern recognition concept, using the different types of artificial neural network systems, they provide to analyze the all related data to that person, all the historical data to that person, and it provides the uh, sadness and anxiety for that speech of pattern and that behavior of that pattern. And an example, suppose is now the AI is now notice the stress in the patient voice and alerts the counselor. Then next is now that AI in the personalized medicine. The personalized medicine is that the AI is now gives the tailors the treatment is that the plans of each person, unique body and the genetics. Every person is now unique. No one is now similar. In that, the personalized medicine detection is a very hard task because of the custom treatment plan. Suppose we give the custom treatment plan, the AI system patient data is recommended to most effectively the medicine and the doses of that person, referring to its behavioral and its total background concept, background total historical data. Then example is that the two cancer patient, then AI gives the treatment plans according to the gain. What exactly the is historical data and what exactly the Bay person related data, analyze out all the data and then gives the personalize the medicine to that both persons. Then now, last is now the AI in emerging and the critical care. The AI is now provide the quick decision support for the emerging multiple during the emergencies. The predict the patient risk. AI is now predict likely to get worse soon. For example, AI is allowed to the doctors what exactly the oxygen level is now dropping to that person, and before monitoring what exactly this will happen, what exactly the after the patient admitted, what exactly the happened. This is the emergency and critical total notifications, the total prediction values is now the AI is now predict. Then smart ambulances, it is the very important for the all common people. AI helps to the guide ambulance through the traffic using the GPS and live updates. Then AI suggests the fastest route of the map, the total area, and then hospital avoiding the traffic jams. These are the different real-time applications, which is very common and which is very uh, challenging in the healthcare sector, which is we resolve using the AI and to make your healthcare system is very effective and very smoothly occur. Then the AI healthcare revolution, bridging the gaps and the saving lives. This topic is now uh, totally based on the people lack essential healthcare, then efficiency improvement, continuous care. These are the different key parts of that AI healthcare system. The how exactly the simple people lack essential healthcare system is now the multiple people who was globally served that population of the AI. Then the AI is now adoption of the healthcare lags behind other the industry, but it promises to enhance the efficiency, which reduce the cost, which improve the outcome value. It saves the time, it saves the cost. This is the very beneficial, and this is the bridging the gap of the evaluation. Then this is the way the AI healthcare is now the billions of people lack essential healthcare. The 4.5 billion of people lack essential healthcare is that the many people around to the world do not have access to the doctors, hospitals, or the medicines. This includes the poor or rural areas where the medicine help is so far and too expensive. Then how exactly the AI is help and that time and that area? Then it can be bring the healthcare to remote and the underserved areas through the mobile apps, telemedicine, and chatbots that gives the instant medicine advice. For example, is now that a person is suppose in staying in the small village, but it uses the AI health app. Then on their phone to check the symptoms and they get advice before reaching the doctor. And the AI can even suggest the nearby clinic on the connect which doctor to the physically and which doctor to the online mode. Okay. Then this is the prediction of AI which gives that person who uses in the small villages. And then meaning means total overview is that AI is now helps to reach people who don't have the hospitals nearby, and they don't know that what exactly we required, which doctor is needed, which type of treatment is needed for that disease, for that person. Then AI is now helpful to that person. Then 75% efficiency improvement. It is the potential cost reduction and outcome enhancement. We know that. But the AI is now make the healthcare work faster, easier, and more accurate. We want this, and we have implement on this. Then this total efficiency improvement is now AI is overcome that the AI speed test result analysis, Then AI is the predict the needs and helps to the doctors to make the decision is very quickly. And AI reduce the errors in reports and total data. This is the 75% efficiency improvement in our healthcare. Then the 24 by 7 continuous care. AI is gives the 24 by 7 total continuous treatment or a support. The AI watches the vital signs like a heartbeat, oxygen, and they can work with the day and night to monitor the patient and give the support to that specific patient who use the AI apps, who use the AI notifications and multiple devices. For example, suppose the diabetic patient wears a smartwatch that tracks the blood sugar value all the time. And they that if levels drop to the low at the night, then AI sends the alert to the patient to check out to meet the doctor immediately. This is the way of healthcare is revolving the bridging the gaps and the saving the lives. AI also basically used for the cost reduction and better outcome also. How exactly it is useful? It detects the disease is earlier because of your total image processing, your pattern recognition, your ANN, your ML, deep learning, all the concept in your artificial intelligence is now predict your disease symptoms early. And then after then that's why it suggests the correct medicines to avoid the wasting money and the wrong ones, and it helps to the plan the resource better way. This is the overall total bridging the gap of that total way. And the AI is now useful in your like banking, e-commerce, manufacturing. AI widely healthcare is adopted the save the lives because of the strict rules, privacy issues, and need to the human judgment. All the medical conditions is now uh, ethically way to adapt the total healthcare domain. Then now the AI is basically AI can bridge the healthcare gap. How exactly? The AI is now the power to make healthcare equal for the everyone. Not this person is now the uh, rural area. This person is now the city area. In this way, this is doesn't understand. AI doesn't know what exactly the environment. The inputs we will give the inputs to the AI, then your AI system is produce the output that way, analyzing all the data in hidden layers. Then that's why the AI has the power to make the healthcare everyone, no matters where they live, where they are, they can earn how many, mm, what exactly, how much they can earn the money and all. This is called as a democratic healthcare system. And this is the quality and efficiency is now very better and very efficient. And then that's why the connects the patient to the doctors in online mode, in offline mode. It's a very possible. Translate the language instantly. The language doesn't matter. AI gives the all types of recommendation, all types of languages for the giving the output. Then works in the even low resources area through the smartphone and community centers also. This is the simple way the AI healthcare is now revolving the bridges gap and then solving the lives. Then the AI powered is a telepath platform connects to the doctors, CTs with the patients in villages, providing the real-time consultation and prescription. Then mean the total meaning of that bridging gap is that AI is helps to everyone get the access to quality and then healthcare. It's not just the what exactly the people he is or not just the people in the big cities or rural areas. This is the same as or equal as everyone. Then after that, then AI is not the diagnostic outperforming humans. The AI is diagnostic outperforming human. AI becoming the powerful helper for the doctors. AI is becoming the powerful help of the doctors in especially finding the diseases in early, predict the disease early. Then and the this prediction is now approximately correct a decision in many areas. The AI is now the performing as well as not even better than the human experts if they're reading the medical images like your brain scan analysis or X-rays. And then the second is now the fracture detection also. The how exactly the brain scan analysis is now performed using the AI. We already we discussed that the all the images we recognize using the different types of algorithms and predict the outputs before our disease is now started. Then the same as the brain scan analysis is also possible in the using the AI where the blood stops then your part of your some part of brain, then the quick treatment is now needed. Then the doctor is now suggest must find when the stroke started to the give the right medicine. Then in that time, how exactly AI is now help? The AI is now help to that person. The AI software is now studied the scan of the CT scan, MRI. These are the total images they already scanned. Then it detects the exact time of stroke and when it is bigger and what exactly the treatment is now required. And then AI is not twice to accurate medical expert identify the stroke over the time. Then this helps to the doctors life-saving treatment the faster, very efficient way, and this is the critical. This called as the golden hour or golden hours in that medical domain. And then this is the simple example in your brain scan analysis. The another example is that suppose a hospital uses the AI platform, any type of AI platform to read the stroke pressure, stroke of that patient's brain scan. Then the AI is now detects to that stroke started 30 minutes ago. Sometimes a doctor might have to take a longer to confirm. Then this helps to give the right medicine quickly and save the patient's life. And the AI is now very useful to more accurately than the human because of it scan the faster. In your simple fracture detection also, AI system is now detect the bone fractures. How exactly? In up to the doctors, 10% of urgent care cases, significantly reducing the unnecessary X-ray, costly follow the appointment. So it's a very costly to the pay the all the types of bill. Then in your AI, what exactly happened in real life? This is the very busy hospital of the emergency room. Doctors sometimes miss small bone fracture on the X-ray, especially when patients are in very dangerous pain or many times in the cases. Okay, then that time AI is helps to that the AI system is scanned as X-ray images and spot the tiny, small to small fractures that might be invisible to the human eye. They highlighted the exact area and exact point, the break guiding to the doctors to the confirm it. And the result is that AI is now find the doctors miss up to the 10% of urgent care cases. It's also the unnecessary जो कुछ X-rays and the follow-up tests and time and the cost also. The simple example is that a child comes to the clinic with the arm pain. The doctor doesn't see the fracture on the X-ray, but the AI system highlighted the small crack of that bone. Why? Because of the small child is not exactly predict where it is the pain and what exactly it fracture and what exactly the uh, his body is now working, what exactly ongoing on that body. Then your AI system is now highlighted the small crack of that bone and the doctors is recheck and reconfirm it and the child treatment is now right way. This is the simple AI diagnostics outperforming humans. Then the different applications is that the personalized treatment powered by AI. What mean by the personalized? The data integration, treatment design, dynamic adjustment in this way. The data integration is now uh, AI brings together all the total related information in the different sources, such as the patient's medical history, total lab reports, genetic data, lifestyle. Lifestyle means suppose this person is now worker, this person is a IT corporator, this person in this way, army in this way. Means that the AI system is now wants to know all lifestyle data, means the diet, is exercise, its sleep time, its wake up time in this way, and real time data from the smart watches or sensor which we use. All this related, total related data integration, collecting and combining total all the information, and AI is help to all the combine of this total information and build the complete health profile of that person. And then it finds the patterns that doctor might missing. And then if suppose the example is, now suppose we will take a same example, suppose the diabetes patient. The diabetes patient, the AI app is now collects the data from the glucose monitoring, diet logs, is past report, pre-diabetic report, post-diabetic report. It then notices the blood sugar rises time, and the patient eats the late night and alerts the doctors. The simple thing is that the AI is all the health data together and understand what makes each person condition is how exactly unique or not. Then AI powered personalized treatment is like a IBM Western collection. What is mean by the IBM? Then the AI is checking the doctors. They treat the patient, making the personalized treatment and the plans unique for each person, each person's, and now the same for the everyone. Okay. Then how exactly AI personalized treatment is now working in the step by step, the collecting and analyzing the total data. That how exactly they analyzing the total data, genetic data, medical history, lifestyle total factors. Just we discussed that the diet, exercise, sleep time, wake up time, its total habits, its total workload, how exactly its sitting arrangement in this way. The AI is what AI does. The combination of all the information, it creates the complete data profile and looks the which factors is rise for this total disease. And then the AI is now predict the output of the total healthcare, the its total disease prediction values. The example is now AI finds the patient with the heart disease has the certain gene that makes that the react uh, badly to the common heart medicine. So the AI wants to the doctor not to the prescribe the medicine to suggest a safer option also. Then second is now under the data, personalized treatment of the data is now the creating the individual treatment design plans also. How exactly the treatment design plan to AI algorithm create the precise, individualized treatment plans based on the patient specific data? How exactly this data is now work? The after the collecting all the data in the data integration part, we know that the AI system work is that the simple way, the collection of data, pre-processing of data, extract that data, analyze that data, and then the output will come. In the same as when healthcare domain, AI is now used for all the collected information, it work on the in the step of the two, it creating the individual treatment of total data. AI is now study thousands of medicine papers and the past patient records in a second. AI compares the all the cases of that patient and around to the total behavioral structure and total wealth. The example is now suppose it finds, actually it finds the best medicine, best prediction value, best doses, and best therapy also. Then, example is that if two patients have the same type of cancer, it might suggest the different treatment in this way. Then after that, the continuous monitoring and real-time adjustment. It is give the treatment is now keep watching continuously and body reacts the different ways, and we use the therapy and medicine that proper way. AI helps to suppose we uses the wearable devices like your smartwatch, your health bands also. Then this way, it tracks to the health rate, sugar level, sleep time, and this way. It checks you the condition getting the better, worse, and the sitting the same. AI is needed that the adjust the treatment in the real time or alerts your doctor to change the medicines because of the doctor doesn't understand what exactly the habit and what exactly your total behavior in the last 2 to 4 days last week, but the your smart watches is now detect all your total historical background including each and every time 24 by 7 all the time, and then it predicts to the notification, it predicts to the output to the doctor how exactly medicine will be prescribed for that person. Why? Because of its historical data is not changed. Then the next is now the dynamic adjustment using the integrated data. The dynamic adjustment of the integrated data means that the all the total combined information is now used the many types. It's the genetic information, it's real time, the different types of smart uh, instrument devices the person used that collect that total collection data, real time monitoring devices data, and the lifestyle total habit like diet, exercise, and all. This total adjustment of the theory is now dynamically, meaning of the changes the treatment where the your body habits is changed, and this is the simple way to personalize treatment is powered by AI. Means that your total body structure. AI is now makes your treatment always matches your body's current condition, your body's current situation. What exactly the last weeks, what exactly the previous some days you have use the different types of habits, that you referring the different types of medicine and your total behavior, then like the personalized recommendation it provides the AI to the for that person and then that doctor also. Then now the next is AI driven patient support and accessibility. We know that the AI is not only helping to the doctors, it's also the patient directly in the instant of medicine. Then AI is only the helping to the doctors. Okay, it's also helping to the patients also. But the giving the instant of medical support, the clear guidance and easier access to the healthcare services. How exactly it is possible means that it get the helps to any time, anywhere, 24 by 7. And suppose the doctor is not available, even and the AI app is now ready. In this way, the AI-driven, total AI-driven patient support system is now the instant support for the medical guidance. Then addressing the gaps in the women's health. This is also the first is that the chatbot and virtual assistance is now useful in the 24 by 7 to the all the patients, all the persons. It gives the answer to the common medical questions. It helps to the understand the symptoms, and also that it gives the total doctors uh, when the it suggests when the doctor treatment is required, what exactly the prediction value is now produced. An example is that suppose the person feels chest pain and the types into the AI chat box. I am having the pain on the left side on my chest. Then the chatbot asks a few questions about the symptoms, detects it could the serious, it could the advises, the person go to the hospital immediately or not, what exactly the symptoms you have happened. Then it provides the all type of the prediction values. The simple meaning is that the AI-driven patient support system is now gives the instant health advice to that patient. And then it is also useful for the woman's health issues, a long time issues like diabetes, asthma, then heart problem. In this way, it get the regular attention. this total the not regularly attention disease is now the AI chatbot or AI app is basically used for that used for that diseases to that person to fill the gap, personalized reminders, advice, and emotional support also. They remind the patients and doctor to give the medicine, to take a medicine, to change the medicine, and track the total blood level, period cycle, blood pressure for the woman's safety. Then answer sensitive questions like privately woman's health. These the questions which is the woman's is not uh, uh, predict or not communicate to direct the person or person of doctor. Then the AI is now gives some prediction values, the some suggestions, some notifications to that woman, and it connect the patient of the doctor. Sometimes unusual happens also. The example is that suppose the woman uses the app of the tracking the menstrual cycle and the fertility. The app is now alert to the doctor and detects the irregularity patterns also. And the simple way that the guiding the patient through the complex healthcare system. The healthcare system is now confusing. With the many hospitals, departments, and the procedures. Then the AI system like a digital guide with the helping to the patients find out the right doctor, schedule of the appointment, understand the patient options in this way. AI helps to the all the patient which doctor or which department they need to visit the treatment, book the appointment automatically, explain the treatment in the simple way, simple language, its mother tongue language, and it helps to the find affordable and nearby healthcare centers. Then this is the simple way to your AI-driven patient monitoring system and improving the patient satisfaction and after that the accessibility also means that all the AI-driven system is now available in the 24 by 7 in the even remote locations and it's work the smartphones. No need to travel. Then speaks its local language. Means that the total AI-driven concept and the support on accessibility. What exactly helps to AI? The AI, villagers uses the government AI health app. Okay, in Marathi to ask the question about the child vaccination. The chatbot replies instantly and gives the direction of the nearest clinic. The chatbot is now asks the question: What is the age of child? What is the height of child? What is the exactly the uh, uh, length, height, and weight of that child, and then after that they predict the some diet chart and the some predict the vaccination, but they also predict the which government sector is nearby to that to take a vaccination. This is the AI driven system which is very applicable to our health domain. Then after that, automating healthcare operations. The automatic healthcare operations is that the daily time saving, the 66% minutes saved per provider through the AI powered ambient listening and then documentation also. A daily time saving. The system is now automatically then your time, your cost is now reduced. It's a post benefit. Then, how exactly? The doctors usually spend a lot of time to writing the patient's notes after every visit. The AI-powered ambient listening technology is now produce the patient conversations and the automatic to listen the doctor and patient conversation. How exactly doctor suggests and what exactly the instruction gives that patient. Then the AI system is now listen carefully and automatic converts all the data in the written format, and then the PDF is now generated. And this means that the AI listen quietly during the consultation. AI captures the all the like the symptoms, medicines, and doctor advices. Then and now the 40% efficient boost. The hospitals have handled the many operations every day. Then scheduling appointment, then managing the staff, handling the bills and the procedure, insurance policies, which is required to that the patient regularly. Then these are the total 40% efficient boost is now. AI checks doctor's availability and the patient preferences automatically. It arranges all the appointments. It arranges to reduce the all appointments and all the schedule. That is the benefit for the to reduce the waiting time to avoid the double booking. And then after that, it reminds the patient of their appointments and which is no shows. In this way, the AI is now help to all the patients. The after that renew the cycle management also. The AI verifies the insurance details, checking the bill codes, and then processes claim faster. It reduces the all the minimum handling policies. And the 85% is now your improvement of your compliances, regularity compliances. The 85% improvement compliances means that your government and safety rules called as the regularity compliances to protect the patient data and ensure the quality of that data. And then this total quality of data is now the AI is now help to the some uh, basic things like AI reviews the patient records, report which are the missing, which is the incorrect information. Then AI is now ensure all documents is now standard and data privacy is now maintained or not. It gives the alerts what exactly the corrections and what exactly the need and what time to complete that total needs. This is the simple way the 85% improvement in the regularity compliances. Then the next is that the predictive analytics early disease detection. Then the predictive analysis is now the AI is now predict the future health problem like total happens. It algorithms is now Alzheimer, diabetes, then after that different types of diseases which is not easily to handle. And then AI is now takes the medical record, lab result. We are already discussed that laboratory scan reports and the leaf life cycle habit and looks the it gives the this detects the diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart problems, early stage in the year early stage, and it compares the person data with the millions of patient records for in early warning signs. And then the um, predicting the heart attacks and strokes, the multiple real-time wearable devices like your smartwatches and the fitness bands, they also check the total heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen level, and gives the unusually all the total data and predicts the predicts the diseases and predicts the total its behavior, what exactly will happen, and then early warnings help to that person to medical help before the serious emergency will happen. Then now the integrate AI with the healthcare system. The AI becomes the most powerful when connected with the hospital system, medical records, and after that, the online healthcare platforms. When integrated in the EHR integration, imaging networks, telemedicine links in this way. The EHR networks mean electronic health records, all the seamless connection. This total electronics health records is now the digital version of your patient's medical files. These files include like the past illness, all the medical history, test results, and the treatments also. And this is the smoothly with the EHR system is access and analyze the patient's all the related data at the and keep it the one place like your digital data. And then after that, it helps to the doctor quickly understand the total patient history, full medical history, and provide more accurate one. Benefit is that doctors make the gives the decision very quick and very faster. The patient don't have to repeat the test, and all health data is organized and connected, and then it is useful to the next treatment also. Then imaging networks is that suppose you have medical imaging like X-ray, CT scan, MRI. These are the total imaging, and this total uh, images is like allows to the real-time sharing and analysis of that data. AI is automatically analyze that total images and after that to predict the diseases sign like tumor, fracture, infection in this way. And telemedicine links is now direct connection to the licensed healthcare. Means that AI can also work together the telemedicine platform where the patient consults to the doctor online. And AI is now collect all the symptoms to the patient, check again the medical data and gives the initial assessment. This is the simple example case study of the K Health AI compares. K Health AI compares means the K Health app is now allows to the enter the symptoms, and this AI is now compares all the millions of medicines records on the database, and it finds the most likely your match your conditions, and then it predicts the medicine, and then it connects to you user directly to the real doctor for the live chat and video consultation. It not use the medicine name, it not predict the which type of medicine you will take. It gives uh, the one prediction that that is connect, then it is connect to the user directly to the online or video conference doctor, relating to all the patient's historical data, historical symptoms. Benefit is that patient get help to the instantly from the home. It very beneficial to reduce the hospital crowding, and it very good for the pre-analyzed information and saving the time. This is the Care Health AI app. Then after that, the challenges and ethical consideration. It's a very simple part. The challenges, we already know that the real common person is also have face all these issues. The AI healthcare also faces some challenges and ethical issues. The doctors and staff members proper training, it's very important. So AI system doesn't make mistake or shows biased decision. The building trust is everyone patient must be feel the confident and AI is safe or reliable. That should be the strict the rule and regulation is protect total protect the patient data privacy and security. Then now the healthcare challenges in 2025. This is the important part. In the healthcare challenges is now growing the population of demand first. How many percentage? Then the percentage is now 4.5 billion in this way. Then now the healthcare challenges growing the population on the demand. The more people of healthcare, but hospitals and doctors are limited. Then rising the cost, medical treatment, different types of medicines, and the hospital care becoming the very expensive. Then chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, heart patient, heart attack, cancer. These are the increasing the worldwide, and the after that the unequal access, the millions of people especially rural and very poor areas, uh, they don't access the quality of healthcare. This is the big challenge. Then the staff storage, there aren't trained doctors, nurses and medical staff meet to the demand. And after that data technology management, amount of the data is now securely and effectively handle. This is the one big challenge. In short, all the providing the in the 2025 we providing the multiple challenges. In short, the providing the high quality, affordable, accessible care, everyone managing the cost, everything managing the technology in this way. And then next is that the AI powered diagnostics accuracy beyond human limits. Now, the stroke detection, bone fracture, early disease sign. This way, uh, the AI system is basically trained on the vast amount of medical data images. The total data is in your healthcare domain, in our healthcare domain, medical domain is now totally based on the different types of images. This allowing to the spot tiny data, complex disease patterns, human eye might miss. The high accuracy help to find the serious condition of that disease, like your cancer, that heart disease, much earlier. The AI is now work constantly without gaining the trained, sorry, without uh, accepting the improving the heart tired, and then reducing the human error, then providing the second highly precision stakes the doctors. For a simple example is that suppose AI is now looking the x-ray, which can be detect very small early stage lung cancer module. Then with the 94 accuracy, while the human doctor might spot just accuracy is only the 65% at that time. Then AI ability to analyze this tiny details so constantly how to accurate and beyond the human limits. This is the way. Means AI is now predict the better accuracy compared to the human being. This is now simple way. Okay. Then the next is now the personalized treatment, predictive and predictive analytics. It's not the simple. The predictive analytics, this is the transforming the offering the precision, humanity capability. Then the for suppose the stroke detection. AI software proven that twice to accurate the human experts while interpreting the complex brain scan, leading the faster and more reliable identification of stroke. Similarly, it comes to the bone fracture also. It is reliable to the safety net, the capable detecting the breaks doctors and the miss just the 10% cases. And then early disease signs, AI model analyze the all types of data to find the very first indicator to over. Then after that, 1000 different disease often than before person even experiences any noticeable symptoms, allowing much earlier interventions. This is a personalized treatment and the predictive analysis is that so basically beyond the diagnosis, AI tailors healthcare is now individually predict the future risk, genetic analysis. Then we already discussed that the IBM Western analysis, they complete the genetic total history to create a truly personalized treatment plan, ensuring to receive the medication and therapy is likely effective to the unique body. It ability to extend the risk prediction, where the predictive analytics flags early specific risk for the major illnesses, and after that, real-time monitoring, smart implants, wearable technologies, where is now women health invention, all the type more personalized management condition is now matters to the prediction. Then the next is that the AI-driven automation in healthcare operations. The what is meant by the AI is cuts down the clinical spend writing. It reduces the documentation. It produces the smart scheduling, the appointments, then revenue management, and the means that the billing procedure, your total documentation concept and the compiling the monitoring. This is the simple way. And if the benefits is now the fewer documentation error is also happen. The benefits is now the fewer empty slot, less patient waiting in this way in your smart scheduling. In the revenue management, before submitting to your claim, AI spot the diagnostic code and missing the link procedures code, and the alert the billing staff to add the correct code, and the prevention of the denial and avoiding to the all the time and loss of the resubmissions. And the compiling monitoring is that it access the multiple patient records and immediately flag to the what activity is next will be happen. Then now this is the digital health assistant, which we know that all the times it is available in your chatbot, in your smartwatches, and in your different K IBM K app. This is the assistant in your 24 by 7. We already discussed that EHR integration. Here, EHR integration is not your total electronic health record, digital files of the patient, is complete medical history, including the result, treatment, doctor notes, all the way. This is the total digital library also. After that, there's the coordination. The core coordination is making that the every step of the patient journey is a very crucial for the ambulance arrival to diagnosis and treatment. Total journey is that the total core coordination. AI is now keep the track of the all the patient movement, update records automatically. Then its alerts, its next treatment, line of treatment, its a total prediction, its total outcome. After that, what is the solution of the treatment? What is the outcome of that second treatment? All the record core coordination is now available the beneficial in your AI. And automation flow is now, this is the AI system is now gives the alerts, gives the update of that patient, then it saves the real time value, reducing the paperwork and manual coordination. This is the simple way how exactly the AI is now help the patient to doctor and hospital management. Then ethical and legal trust of the consideration. AI becomes the more common in healthcare, where is the safe, fair, and trustworthy. Then the 81% trust priority in the healthcare is now predict using the AI. The risk mitigation. This mitigation is now the data bias. AI make the wrong judgment because of the unfair and unlimited data. If you give the a simple structured and the legal data, then AI is now predict the 100% gives the output. Then the privacy issue and transparency is the important part in your risk mitigation. Then ethical is now the used fairly, safely, and more beneficial for the users. And the human oversight is now human may stay controlled, especially in the healthcare, which balance the human oversight and the patient safety also. Then annual saving. This is the important part. This is the AI is now saving the annual total huge positive impact to the healthcare society, both the patient and financial savings also. Why? Because of the private companies across the world while heavily investing the healthcare and driving rapid the innovation is helping AI-based medical solution, hospital and patient both are the very effective and easily handle all the concepts. And then annual, this is the annual saving. Then after that, the future of AI in healthcare. Future is now the smart diagnosis. It helps to the disease more detect them very easily. Then patient will get the customer customized treatment. Then virtual assistant 24/7, and then after that global access. Everyone gives the quality. Everyone available everywhere. Then this is the simple feature of AI. And then now all the points is now covered. What exactly the real-time applications in our AI? What are the different challenges, these things we have faced in healthcare, and what is the AI is now useful in your total healthcare? How exactly we reduce the time? How exactly we save the documentation? How exactly we avoid the total crowd rush, and effectively and efficiently we solve our total problems in our healthcare domain. And this total AI healthcare is now powerful in year 2023. And this is our target to AI is implement to healthcare in every domain and everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Participant, do you have any questions regarding the topic? Yes, any questions from your side, participant? Yes, now I would like to thank Pranjali madam to give us such a nice session for the today's.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So today we are giving a 10-minute break. So do not leave the meeting. Only just take a 10-minute break. Okay. So we'll meet at 4:20 p.m. Okay. We'll meet at 10:40. Sorry, 10:20. Sorry, 4:20 we can meet.
Participant, don't leave. Only 5 to 10 minutes now break, because of our expertise already joined the session. That's why please rejoin within a 5 minutes. Do not leave. Good afternoon, all participants. Okay. Today, our esteemed guest is now Dr. Manish Godse, sir. The Manish Godse, sir, has 25 years of leadership experience in the IT industry. He has completed a PhD in IIT Mumbai. His extensive expertise spanning 20 years of the artificial intelligence contributing to innovative business solutions, products, and the platforms. His specialization in consulting, the problem solving, evaluation in AI adoption in an organization, automation and insights, customer relations, planning and delivery. Welcome, sir.
Hey, thank you. Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. So I have to start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
So started screen sharing. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you for introduction. So before we start, I have two requests. One is that we should have the uh, very much interactive session rather than one-sided. Means rather than me delivering, it's better if you ask me question so that I can answer most of the questions. The session which I have planned here is based on my experience, which I'm working in the multiple sectors. Especially, I'm consider here healthcare as well as the insurance sector, because if you consider healthcare, so at the end, healthcare is always supported by the health insurance. So that's where I'm trying to consider few things from there, and what are my experiences, how we tackle the problems. But in that, the topic which is given, the deep learning, but I'm not considering only deep learning, I'm considering here LLM also, and I will talk about that why I have considered LLM along with the deep learning. But before that, if you have any specific question, please ask so that I can focus my presentation or discussion. Rather than presentation, it's more about discussion from that perspective. So please let me know your question firsthand. So I'm taking pause here for your questions.
Yes, participant, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Okay, I think there is no question. So let's understand that when we started our journey, so we started working in this space, especially using deep learning almost 6 years back. And then one of the challenge we always face that when you're looking for unstructured data, because if you look the data perspective, most of us, you are maybe aware of that when we talk about the data, we always talk about the structured as well as unstructured data. Structured data has literally no challenge, but when you talk about unstructured data, it has lot many challenges. And the data, where it is generated, how it is generated, and that's where we have to first understand the journey. How, what is the patient journey when a patient enters into the hospital? So let's understand that journey so that we'll understand where we are looking for the unstructured data, right? So when patient enters the hospital, you can easily adopt AI everywhere, because these days we are talking about AI adoption of the AI. So you can adopt AI everywhere during that patient journey, but there are certain challenges, and there are certain precautions also. Everybody has to take certain precautions. So we'll talk about what are those challenges and what are the precautions that one has to take. So consider the journey. Now these are the major stages. Those are the 4 stages I have listed over here. There can be many more if you go into the depth, but these are the initial 4 stages you can look for. The first stage is initial assessment. So where I visit to the hospital, and then I meet one doctor, which is general, not the specialized doctor. I have the interaction with the doctor, and then they ask lot many questions. I also a lot of give the answers, and based on that, possibly they write down the possible symptoms, and then in that they also recommend something. Right. So when they are uh, writing the possible symptoms, earlier, if you consider old days, and still some of the hospitals we found that those practices are followed. So in some hospitals, they write down something on the paper, and then that paper is handed to you, right, in terms of a prescription. But there is another paper where they write down their observations. Now, I have recently found, so recently I had some issues and I visited Review House, and I found that they are also maintaining their notes in the IT system. So earlier it was not there. Earlier it was more like a paper pencil based, scan the document and upload in the system. But nowadays they're also trying to convert that into the uh, what you can say that the digital format notes. So if you consider that, there is the first document. So there are 2 documents which are generated. First document is the prescription, that is handed to the patient. At the same time, second document is where they are writing their all observations. So that is the initial assessment. So you are talking about 2 documents over here. Now after that, based on their first observations, possibly, and depending upon the diagnosis, they may recommend more tests. And those tests can be something like this can be blood test, urine test, stool test, or maybe x-ray, sonography, CT scan, or MRI. Depending upon the need, there can be multiple tests, and multiple test will generate multiple documents, right? Let's say for example blood test. Then blood test can be around kidney, test can be around the blood sugar, test can be around like your cholesterol. X-ray can be of chest, or X-ray can be of your, if there is a bone fracture, X-ray can be bone fracture, sonography, CT. So there are multiple documents which are generated. I'm purposely talking about document, not the images, because X-ray for me is a document. Sonography can be a document. The format can be image format. Apart from that, there can be videos also. They can also create few videos, right? So this is the another set of document which you are creating. Now, during the treatment, now you are, let's say, for example, there's a treatment happening, right? You possibly might have hospitalized, or you may not be. So there is a treatment which is happening. And in that treatment, let's say, for example, there is a surgery. Now, during that surgery, these days, it is very easy to record the entire surgical process. Or if there is a medication which is again changed, they can write down on the paper, right? They possibly, if accident happen, then possibly you are also going to the physiotherapist. If there is a cancer, then there is a separate medication. So in this again, during that next stage where you are looking for a special treatment, then there is a lot of documents or videos which are generated. Possibly they can also record the session. Let's say for example, there is a psychological treatment which is happening, right? So psychological session can be recorded. So here, then this is voice recording which is generated, and the last part is monitoring and the follow-up. So let's again understand the first 3 bullets. So initial assessment, we are talking about a few documents which are generated. Document can be PDF file, PDF, possibly that is a handwritten document which is scanned and stored in the system. Possibly someone is writing and printing out, because I have seen one of the doctor, he was using tab, he wrote everything, and then he created and he printed out. So there was a print, right? So at the end, the data is stored somewhere on the cloud. So where you don't have the document, but certainly data is generated and data is stored there. Here, X-ray, these days, X-rays are also uh, available in the soft copy. You don't have to carry the like the older days where we used to carry the printed copy, right? X-ray, for example, there was a X-ray print, or sonography, there was sonography print. These days, I have seen that many doctors, they don't print. So they say that give us the doctor's clinic name and number, and they usually transport over email or maybe on the WhatsApp to the clinic, right? So this data is also available over here. Then the last part I was talking about the videos. So you will find out that the documents which are generated, it is a PDF file, possibly it is a Word file, possibly data is directly stored into your digital system, or these are the images, X-ray sonography, those are the images, or in some cases sonography, for example, videos are also created here during the surgical procedure. Again, videos are created during therapy sessions where one-to-one discussions happen, then voice are recorded. So you are talking about this kind of uh, data which you are generating. This is entirely unstructured data. This is entirely unstructured data. And the conversation, if you consider the conversation, right, consider the all Indian possible languages, conversations happening. If you consider the standard Indian languages include English, approximately there are, I think, 18 or 22. So conversations are happening in Indian languages, and there are different medias. Most of the documents which are printed or which are handwritten, or let's say for example those are in terms of English, but rest of the documents, those are again into the maybe local language if required. Now consider the other side. Now this we are talking about hospital. Consider the insurance. If you consider the insurance, they also require the same documents, because if you are hospitalized, then possibly you may be claiming for the insurance, and when you claim for the insurance, you have to submit a lot of documents, and all documents which are generated over here has to be submitted for the insurance. The document which are created by the doctors or the team of doctors or the hospital, now all are required to the insurance company so that they can pay you the your insurance amount. So that's why I said that if you look for the hospital and if you look the insurance, they go hands in hand, and everybody requires a lot of data, right? So again, I am taking pause here. If any question, please let me know. Okay, so being there is no question, I'm moving to the next part. Right, so these are the documents I have listed here, which I talked earlier that we are generating. So quick review here, medical history, that is one piece I missed. So if you are visiting the same hospital again and again, then you have a lot of medical history, and it is really required. So let's say for example, yearly usually I go for my blood test, and then every year I found that I visit the same lab, so they have the records, and every time they talk about major parameters. So when I get the medical report, every time I see that on last 2 3 uh, paper pages, they are talking about the changes in particular symptoms. Let's say for example, kidney functioning, possibly cholesterol changes in the level, hemoglobin level change. So they are showcasing those important parameters in terms of graphs. So that is the medical history, right? Doctor also asks a lot of questions on the lifestyle factors, because these days it is observed that majority of the problems are because of the lifestyle factors, because of the food habits, because of the wrong sleep patterns. So those are equally important, right? And this I talked about surgical images, medical charts, everything, right? Then what is the purpose of talking about this, right? So one major problem we always face when we build solution and provide to the industry, right? We work with the insurance companies, we also work with few charity organizations. Those are providing charity. Let's say for example, we work with the Cancer Society of India, where they provide charity to the cancer societies. We work the insurance company, let's say for example in Pune, Bajaj Insurance, we work with them, or we have another insurance company in Mumbai. We also work with the hospital. So not in India, mostly a few hospitals in the US. So we found that major challenge is something like this: standardized electronic health records. So if you go back here, consider for example medical history. Now one hospital is have the medical history uh, in their format. If you visit the another specialized hospital, they will also maintain your history. Now this medical history is not available, and that's where recently we are talking in India, we are talking about that can we have And that's where our government has launched one portal where they are talking about, can we transfer the medical record easily across the hospitals, and where they are talking about the standardization of records, because right now records are not standardized, and that create lot many challenges for the hospitals as well as the doctors, right? So major challenge is there are no standardized records. Data integrity is major issue, and the data accessibility. Now, why data accessibility is the another issue? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So uh, there are certain challenges which are because of the laws, and those are really important. Possibly someone might have talked about this earlier, but let me quickly talk about this. The first part, not and the not the other part. So when you're looking for the data, so as per the government law, or if you consider any country in the world, there are laws for the data privacy and security, and those are very much important. What is that? What are those laws? Let's spend a few minutes on that. So when you're talking about the laws, so any data which we say that PI data, personal or personable, person identifiable data. So let's say for example, my name is Manish, what is my birth date and what is my the address. So certainly I can find out that this is a person who is staying over there, right? Or if I consider the LinkedIn, for example, now LinkedIn, though it is a public, but certainly there is a certain personal information available. What is your name? Which is the organization you are working for? What is your education qualification, right? And usually we don't, they ask also birth date, but we provide very limited information, which is really not creating a privacy issue. But if you consider, let's say for example, Aadhaar card, PAN card, or if you consider passport, or if you consider these documents, those are the documents which are linked to any person. Or if I consider the next level, let's say for example, in Aadhaar card, we have these biometrics, right? We have this thumb impression, we have this eye retina impression. Those are the biometrics, and those are biometrics belongs to a particular person. Or if I consider, now go to the next level, consider your blood report. Now, is blood report important data? Yes, blood report is important data because it is talking about your health, and your health is your private matter. It is not a public matter. And that's where all the documents which are generated during your journey in the hospital, or during your journey when you are sick, those are considered as a private documents. Those are not supposed to be publicly posted anywhere. You are so that's where there are certain rules. Those are the HIPAA, GDPR. So there are certain standard rules which talks about that you are not supposed to share any data uh, with anyone outside of the organization. So based on the role, so that's where doctor patient relations is important, right? If you might have seen in multiple hospitals that there is a doctor patient relationship, and where doctor is supposed to keep everything hidden. They are not supposed to talk about your health to anyone, and it really matters a lot. And this plays a very important role, because if you consider the AI, right? Now let's go back again here. Now uh, take a pause over here and see what are the different possible applications, where I have listed a few applications just for our understanding, and there are more applications. So let's say for example, first application, and before that you have to always remember that many organizations, I'm not talking about the especially healthcare, but if I consider insurance, or if I consider banking organizations, they are using AI for the automation. They are using AI for the automation. Now let's understand what is the automation. So automation here is that the so when you consider any process, let's say for example, if I go to the lab, now there is a process, right? I go to lab, uh, I tell them that these are the tests I have to conduct. So that is the first step in my process. Then the next step is that they will ask me the payment, so I have to pay the payment. So I may pay the payment through the UPI. And then next step is that they will take a blood. Now, and then blood they will be given to the in the lab to someone who will test it. that they will generate the report, the rate that that data will be fed into the IT system, and then they will generate the report. Report will be sent over to me via email or maybe through WhatsApp, and that same will go to my doctor. Now this is a process. Right. Now in this process, lot many banks where the process are really secondary process. Let's say for example you have to call to the hospital, right? Now usually there will be someone on the front desk and they will answer the call. So rather than they answering the call, can system answer the calls? Yes. So these tasks can certainly automated, where you don't need the human intervention, where rather than human answering the call, system will answer the call. But there are certain limitations on all these calls, because if you consider the uh, AI part, right? If you consider the AI part, so when you're looking for the models, models are developed using a certain data, right? Models are always developed using certain data. And if there is a garbage in the data, or if there is an error in the data, certainly your output may have the garbage, or output may have certain challenges. And that's where when you're looking for the automation, and that's where I talked about the automation. So many organizations, they want the automation up to such an extent that there is no human intervention is required, right? So yes, that is possible, but when there's a situation of life and death, when it is about life of human being, then certainly there is a limitation on the automation. So when you're looking for the automation in the healthcare industry, certainly there is a limitation. We cannot adopt automation, or we cannot adopt AI blindly. And let's talk about these examples. So mm, right, and this is the part which is important. Algorithm bias or risk. Bias in AI models can cause unequal care if training data lacks a diversity and representation. So what we observed that 100% accuracy is not possible. So when you're building the model 100%, whether it is a classification model or with any kind of model, it is not possible to have 100% accuracy. And that's where AI systems are not developed to replace the human being, not to replace the doctors, or not to replace the nurses, or not to replace anyone who is working in the healthcare sectors. All the systems are always developed to ensure that those are helping these workers who are working in the healthcare system. There is one more issue with the model, that is explainability. So let's say for example consider deep learning model. Now when you build any deep learning model, or when you use LLM for example, so let's say for example I have the CT scan. Now I have to build the model to understand or to diagnose what is there in the CT scan. Right now, so when I build the model, then there is a challenge that I'm not covering the entire sample which will represent the population. Because if your sample is incomplete, then certainly the model which is developed may not be the complete, right? But in some cases, these systems are found better than the doctors. So let's say, for example, if you consider the cancer treatment, it is observed that the X-rays or the CT scans which are taken, or maybe you can say MRI, which are used in the cancer. So there is a lot of data which is captured over a period of time, and being those data is quite uh, standardized. I will not say exactly standardized, but they are quite good in nature. So doctors have built, or rather than doctors, organizations have built very good models, and which are better in predicting the cancer compared to the doctors. So where the models are already surpassed the doctors, but still models are predicting, final decisions always taken by the doctor. So human intervention is always required. And that's where this explainability comes in picture, because when you build the models are not able to explain. Consider for example machine learning. If you are building the regression model, then certainly you get certain values, and it is very easy to understand that which variable is impacting how much on my final outcome. But when you look for the deep learning models, or when you're looking for LLMs, it is very much difficult to understand that why model is giving this output, or which parameters are affecting in what way that I am getting this output. And that's where explainability come in picture. So there are explainability models which are available. People are already using it. We also developed one platform for our one of the customer for the understanding explainability in the healthcare. But still we observed that it is not that perfect. There are always certain bias, and hence final interpretation has to be done by the doctor, right? So coming back to the different examples, but before that, again, I'm going to take a pause. If any question. Okay. So now we'll consider a few examples. So few of the examples which we have built in, not for the healthcare, but certainly. Anyone has question?
Uh, Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
So this is Shashank Sharma from Indo, and
Yep.
I have a very small question in for your today's sessions.
Please go ahead.
Is this AI is applicable to neutralizing the humanizer effect, or we can say that in another words that AI is useful to make a whole patent drafting or making a whole paper publication drafting without any plagiarism. If plagiarism is finding out in other resources, then what will we do? Because certain generals are not accepting the AI tools. So is that any intermediate software which will developed for this kind of reasons?
Okay. So to answer your question, right, let me read out. So to answer your question, so there on,
Yes.
just give me 1 second. Let me
Okay.
find. So there was one. Okay. So Deloitte to refund. Deloitte. I believe that you are aware of what is meant by Deloitte company, right?
Yes, sir.
Deloitte to
Definitely.
refund. Yeah. Deloitte to refund government.
Okay.
Admit using AI in 440K, means in terms of India, $440,000 report. So what they did in Australia, Deloitte
Okay.
generated multiple reports. So if you consider the Deloitte, for example, right? So
Yes,
their
sir.
main business is one of the business is to generate various reports.
Okay.
And these days, what is observed that many organization consulting organizations, they are adopting LLMs heavily to generate these reports.
Okay. Got
And
it.
yeah, so government asked them to pay that much fine. And the reason, I will tell you what the reason they have mentioned.
Okay.
The error includes three non-existent academic references.
Okay. Okay.
Error, non-existent three academic references, made up quotes from the federal court judgment. So there were certain quotes which are mentioned from the federal court, but those were not actually correct. Okay. Now we will go
Okay.
back to answer your question, right? And that's where I was talking about this part. Now
Yes, sir.
consider this part again: algorithm bias risk, and it is very much applicable everywhere. So if you consider LLM, right? How LLMs are developed? So LLMs are developed based on the data which is available easily, which is available in the open source. So if you consider
Yes,
the
sir.
all journals, like, let's say consider for example IEEE, or the journals which
Okay.
are on the let's say for example Springer Verlag. Now most of the good journals which are based on the blind reviews, they are usually not accessible in the open domain.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Right? So these LLMs, there is a quite possible that they may not have learned from these all the rich data sources, unless and until you build the LLM where you get the access to all the journals. So possibly what you can do, you means any organization, what they can do. And there are I have seen last year someone approached us, And what they exactly wanted to do, that they wanted to build their own model, so that these
Okay.
clinical trials, if you are aware of the clinical trials, so they wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
use yeah, so they
I think
wanted to
he
use
is using the modules.
come again.
I think that particular person is using the modules in as compared to the clinical trials by taking the patients in realistic way.
No, so what they want to do is that, so lot many reports are available for the clinical trials, and those are also paid reports, right?
Yeah.
And there are a good number of publications which are also available. So if you look into those publications, some of the publications are available freely, but most of the publications are not freely available. So they wanted to, when someone is doing drug discovery and they are going for a clinical trial, they first hand, there is a lot of investment which is there, right? So they avoid that. They wanted to build their model so that they can cut down that journey and they can reduce the risk.
Yes, sir.
And that's where they wanted to build the LLM. So you take the best model of LLM and then you build the LLM models so that you can generate the your own LLM models, which will be helpful. But most of these models are not easily or openly available. Okay. So coming back now to your journal part, right? So what happened? The
Yes, sir.
LLMs which you are mostly which you are using, those are the open source LLMs. Open source means where it is easy for us to use, right? So when you go there, so they are generic LLMs. They are not a very domain specific LLMs. So let's say, for example, when we build something based on the LLM, we usually use RAG or RAG for the our customer, so that we can add a domain knowledge and hallucination can be avoided,
Okay, sir.
right? Now, considering again the journal part, when you're trying to write down, if you give, let's say, for example, I have to write a specific paper, I give something to the LLM will generate lot much information. They can write the paper also. There is no doubt on that. But what about the content? Content
Yes, sir.
can be
Content is the most
biased.
difficult part of that.
Yes, right. Content can be biased. Means there is a quite possible that some of the journal may accept it. If you look the journals which are really not the, I will say, the quality journals, because their entire business is to get some money and generate something, they will possibly accept it. But that is not a good practice. It is not ethical. But if you consider the output generated by the LLMs, and there was one uh, paper, there was an entire paper which was published by MIT, I think 4 or 5 years back, or maybe more than that. And they said that the papers which were accepted, which was created through the models, it was actually accepted by one of the conferences, because the conference was paid, and that's where the idea was that to showcase how the AI can be misused and how people are using the AI in a other way, right? So if I write the paper, there is a lot possible that the data may not be correct. It is quite possible that the data is entirely having the wrong references. So what will happen now? Let's say, for example, you also published it. You possibly may get some credit, but what is the reason of publishing the papers? Right? We are generating a good amount of knowledge, which is useful to everyone. And if you're writing the paper, and if it is get accepted, if it is published, and someone is going for the same reference, then you are creating entirely a wrong knowledge in the universe, and that is not correct, right? So that's where many uh, good publications, they don't accept. That is first reason. Second reason, when
Yes,
you're
sir.
writing it,
Now I'm satisfied from your
okay,
answer, sir.
okay, good. Then let me close that answer over here. So going back again to this part, right? So here, if you consider the diagnosis, right? So these are the diagnosis, and as I said, that there's a good example on that, and the predictive models. So, so if you consider the data, right? So if I consider the unstructured data, so from unstructured data, what we usually do, uh, because unstructured, when you're using unstructured data, we have to use deep learning. But earlier, when we used to analyze the blood reports, or when we used to mostly different lab reports, which are required, or if I we used to analyze the diagnosis, when there was no LLM, when there was no LLM, we had a lot many challenges, because when you build the model, at the end we used to use NLP, and then converting unstructured into the semi-structured or the structure was a major challenge, because if I consider the Pune city, for example, right, there are thousands of labs, and every lab has their own format of blood report. If I consider the thousands of report, and if I have to get some meaningful information out of it, and if I have to consider now at India level, right, there may be how many labs? Maybe I don't have to say, I don't know the number, but if you consider the format perspective, there may be lakhs of formats. Now you cannot build the model using all the formats. So certainly there are always the challenges, and we used to get maximum accuracy maybe 85% and not the 100%. So still we used to miss that 15%. But because of the LLM, because of the LLM, because if you consider the lab report, right, so they are giving the information. In some cases they provide the information in terms of a table, in some cases they provide the information in terms of a bullets. The table can be a clear cut, it has rows and column. In some cases tables may not have the rows and columns. If you see that it looks like a table, but it may not be a table. In some cases the information is spread in a such a way that they are not in the same line. So I mean, this information spread across the multiple lines, right? So getting the right information was a big challenge. That's where I said that deep learning, rather than deep learning, now we use mostly LLM. So because of LLM, being it is LLMs are trained on trillions of data, getting the right information. So let's, for example, if I feed in the blood report, and if I have to get the information in only structured format, because first converting the unstructured information into structured format is important, then only we can build the model and we can use it. So LLMs are really helping us these days to convert unstructured data into quite a structured format, right? So that is the first step. So let's say, for example, I got the blood report, then I feed in the blood report, I get the structured format. Now I know the structured format. I have historical data. Now I have I can build my model. So how we do it, right? So in some cases we have built our own deep learning models, uh, where we where we get the better results. But in some cases we also use LLM. So let's say, for example, something new comes in, new request comes in from the customer, and we don't have our own deep learning models, then we directly jump into the LLMs. But one of the challenges with LLM, as I said, that this is the major challenge which we face in the LLMs, is the data privacy. So that's where we have to look for the models which are not using the data for retraining. So there are few, or let's for example consider Microsoft, right? So, or consider, for example, Google these days. So they give the assurance that they are not using their output, sorry, our data for the training. So if you get their paid versions, not the free versions, if you get their paid version, and if you sign with them the data privacy, certainly they sign with that. But but if you consider another challenge, because one challenge is that they are ready to ensure the data security and privacy, uh, certainly, but major challenge comes in picture is the cost. So when we are building these models, we require a deep learning model, or we require LLM to ensure that data is converted from unstructured to structure, so that we can have the better output, which is useful to the doctors or maybe the insurance companies. And these days, rather than doctors, a major investment we see, or major uses of these records, are mainly into the insurance sector, because day by day they are observing that there are lot many fraud cases, where there is a nexus between the hospitals as well as the patients, as well as the agents, insurance agents. They are submitting a lot many fraud cases, and the insurance companies are losing a lot much money, as well as there is a regulatory pressure. So there is a IRDA institute which is under the government of India. They regulate all insurances into the India. So there is a lot of pressure from both sides, and to ensure that They will not lose money as well as they comply with the regulatory authorities. They are adopting AI more and more, but their major adoption is for two purposes. One is the operational efficiency, or to reduce the cost, at the same time ensure that fraud can be controlled, right? But when you're looking for the fraud perspective, absolutely right. But when you look from the operational efficiency perspective, LLMs are still a costly affair. LLMs are not that cheaper, though they are becoming cheaper day by day. But what we observe that still LLMs are not cheaper that way. So cost of LLM, let's say for example, if I consider one patient and one entire file is generated, and if hospital or insurance company want to understand the entire outcome of that, or if they want to summarize the entire medical history of that patient, so that it can be used the next time when patient visit again for another sickness, right? So at that time this history can be converted, summarized, and it can be stored. If you, let's say, generate that 100 pages record, which have the, as I said, that it may have the documents PDF file, it may have images, it may have audio, it may have video. One creation file may cost 500 rupees, and that is very costly for any hospital or any bank, sorry, any insurance company, in especially in Indian context. May not be costly in the Western world, but in Indian context it is still costly, because in India labor is still very cheap. If I consider the data entry operator cost, if I consider the people who are converting unstructured data into structured data by typing, their cost is very cheap. If I go to the let's say for example Kolhapur or the second tier city, where the salaries can be 10,000 per month, but if I consider in the US context, salaries can be in dollars, right? So where in Indian context still it is cheap, and these challenges. But over a period, what we observed in the last 1 or 2 years, that LLM costs are certainly reducing. LLMs are also improving over a period of time. Now, let's say for example, when we started with the OpenAI, if you consider the result of OpenAI, uh, and if I consider the Gemini, then we have another challenges. What we observed is that so if I consider PDF file, if I consider audio file, if I consider the video file, so earlier, let's for example, we are using OpenAI. Now today, possibly we may not be using OpenAI. We possibly are using Gemini. The reason is that because of the intense competition between these big players, LLMs are improving, and day by day, those LLMs are improving a lot. Because of that, outputs are improving. Percentage of hallucination is reducing, but at the same time we are facing another challenge. The another challenging is the prompt. Because when we go there, we use the prompt engineering, right? And one of the challenge we face in the prompt engineering, that prompts which are created for OpenAI are not valid which are created for Gemini. So switching from one LLM to another LLM is a little bit difficult. And in up to certain extent, as I said, that these LLMs, those are general, or they are generalized for overall data, they are not generalized for our particular purpose, right? So setting up the RAG is another challenge, because when you try to set up the RAG, we have limited data sources, we have limited knowledge about the domain. We have limited data which is coming maybe from one hospital or two hospital, or maybe coming from the one or another insurance company, right? And that's where we face the challenges, that how to set up the RAG. So these are the challenges which we face. And the another challenge we face is the language. And that's why I'm talking about this, because the researchers, possibly those are doing research in this area, these are the good topics for the research. How you'll ensure that there are RAG in Indian context. You can look for the some government funding. You can have the tie up with the big hospitals. Let's say, for example, we have very good hospitals, right? Apollo, Manipal, or any other good hospitals. You can have a tie up with them, or if you are university and if you are medical colleges, right? You can have a tie up with them. You can try to set up a good RAG. You can publish good papers on this, that how you'll create domain specific LLMs in the Indian context. Because what is available is mostly in the Western world, it is not available in the Indian context. So symptoms, and possibly you are aware of that, right? So if I do MBBS in India, my MBBS may not be valid in US, because the uh, uh, diagnosis practice, the medication which are given, those varies from country to country. And that's where I said that it is better we should have the in the Indian context. So possibly you can do good research around that, how to set up the LLMs which are required for healthcare, or maybe you can have type with the pharma companies that how can help them into the setting up the models specifically for them. There is a lot of opportunity in this sector. And you can write the very good papers. As I said that if I consider the good success of AI, it has mainly happened in the cancer, but there are a lot many areas where it can be adopted. It can be easily adopted in multiple areas, especially in Indian context. So possibly, as I know that DY Patil has the medical college, right? So certainly professors from the DY Patil, they can type the professor there in the hospital, and you can do lot much research which is required in Indian context. It is quite possible because of the LLMs. Because of the LLMs, research has become very much easier, especially AI research, right? Okay. So these are the simple applications which we are talking about. Uh, Detect tuberculosis, uh, uh, detect fractures, tumors, multiple things, right? So there are many areas. I'm not going to the depth. There are lot many areas where you can do good research. LLMs, you can use it. But this is the important part uh, that I'm going to talk about. As I said that when you're looking for healthcare, one of the major challenges is the data set, because the data set is not available because of the data privacy. So certainly academics can play a good role uh, by bringing the data uh, in the central location, at least across the city wide. So let's say for example, if you type with the multiple hospitals in one city, you can create a good data set, you can create RAG. And if there are multiple cities which are coming together at the end, in future we can easily say that we can have the very good LLM which is specially focused for the healthcare, which is specially focused from the Indian context. And if you are aware that recently government has set up a very good amount of fund, and I think there are 4 or 5 companies they are participating to create LLM very specific to India. So Prime Minister office has set a very good amount of fund. You can possibly uh, try to participate in that. And one of the organization which is participating in the Tech Mahindra. There are multiple, but Tech Mahindra is there. I think Fractal Analytics is also participating in that. So as I said that another challenge is the training. So ensuring that privacy has to be maintained, privacy has to be preserved. How will you ensure that you are training the models, avoiding the sensitive data, right? Apart from that, this is another challenge, and this is the still a big challenge. So yesterday, one of our customer in the insurance, they said that can you process the documents in Manipur language? So there is a I don't know whether that is possible. We said that uh, we'll try to do it, but it depends upon the technology. Because if you consider the Indian languages, we have diverse Indian languages, and the all language support which is provided, those are majorly provided by the Microsoft or Google. So there are no as such the Indian company which is providing the Indian language support, because a lot of money is required, and it is highly impossible for any Indian organization to have that kind of money to ensure that all or most of the Indian languages has to be included. And that's where possibly academics can play a good role. They can go for the good funding. And even I know that IIT Bombay has not IIT Bombay, IIT Bombay started with when I was there, they started with the adopting Sanskrit, Malayalam, Telugu, and eventually that project went to the bigger scale. uh, I think government of Department of Education and Technology, I think, or technology department, they supported a lot, and they come up with certain models. But still, those models are not very good, because we tried those models for one of our customer, and we found that those models are not still very good. But certainly, those models can be enhanced, and those models can be made available in the open source so that industry can use it. So here there is a good amount of research which is possible, who are interested in especially voice AI based or voice or based contribution in AI. Apart from that, the last part which is the ruler. So certainly we are aware that during the COVID, right, so a lot of us converted into the online uh, consultation, and still I see that a lot of us may, or maybe few of maybe connecting to the doctors through the WhatsApp. We are looking for the online consultation. So certainly rural India needs, and recently I saw some news in the paper that one of the rural operation was conducted by the uh, one city surgeon. I think the surgeon was from maybe Bangalore or Bombay or somewhere, and they conducted in real time surgery using robotics in the rural India. Uh, so that is also quite possible, where we can look for the robotic based surgery, which is quite possible. Still human intervention will be there, but this is also very much possible, right? Before that, if you have any question, please let me know so that I can talk about one experience, and then I will close my session. Okay. So being there is no question, so this is one problem which we solved for one of our customer in US. So if you consider the genetics, and we solved this problem 5 years back using deep learning, but certainly if today I have to solve it, I will go back with I will use LLM, because we faced lot many challenges. It took almost like 6 months to develop the entire prototype which was viable for the clinical trials. But if I go with the 2 days, certainly I can build a prototype in 2 months, and it can be easily set for the clinical trials. So if you consider the multiple cancers, right? So there are certain cancers which can be easily prevented, because those cancers are uh, genetics driven. So certain cancers we carry from our parents, right? And if we have family history, then certainly we can find out that how cancers can be prevented, right? So preventive measures can be considered in the cancer. So what we did, so there is a genome screening is required. So there are specialists who works into genetic engineering. So we had a tie-up with the the company which we are working for. So they have a lot many consultants which have the expertise in genetic engineering, especially from the cancer perspective. So they created a good amount of document which captured the entire knowledge which are required. Then there are multiple types of cancers. It is not a one cancer, right? There are multiple types of cancers. So every cancer has its own knowledge. So knowledge repository was important. So we first captured the entire knowledge. We created a knowledge repository. So entire knowledge was stored into the database. So we use NoSQL so that we can store the entire knowledge base into there. And then they also gave us the certain rules, right? So idea was that we should have the online system. So if you consider genetic, so usually how it works in US, right? If I have family history, then I can visit the hospital. There are these specialists. They are not doctors actually, they are specialists. They ask lot many questions, and based on that question they decide that whether what is the possibility of cancer, and then based on that they recommend the test. Then you go for the test, you do the entire testing. Now these tests are really costly, and that's where this first screening is important, whether test has to be recommended or not, right? Even these doctors are the specialists, those are limited. They are not good in number. Not every hospital has those kind of specialists. So idea was that by developing this system, anybody who are interested or they have the family history, they can go online, they can pay minimum very small amount, they can answer all questions, and they can then data will capture, sorry, the system will capture the entire answers. It will run through those models, and it will generate the possibilities, that whether there is a possibility of the cancer, and then what is the risk level, whether it is high, medium, low, and if there is a risk level, based on the risk level, it will also recommend the test, what are the potential tests. And then if required, then this data can be transferred to uh, uh, the expert for the evaluation. So expert will go through that data, offline evaluation, not the online evaluation. Expert will evaluate that. Uh, if you recommend that I want the evaluation, it will evaluate it, and after evaluation, the expert will see that whether the outcome is correct. If they want to recommend something, they will recommend it, and then you can go for the testing, right? So though if you say yes, then certainly then your so idea was that this system will also attach to the hospital, so certainly online booking will happen, and you will go directly for the testing. So the process was supposed to be entire automated online, with some kind of human intervention. So we build the entire modeling. There was this company built the entire workflow using their team. We built the all AI models which were required for that, and they did their successful trial, and the entire process was successful. Uh, Good part was that uh, this entire company then acquired by the Japanese company, because everything was very successful, and they got acquired with very good amount of money, right? So this is the entire story of this, how it can be used in the entire process in the healthcare, right? How AI can be used in healthcare. And there are different I was talking about, there are another use cases which are already implemented, and the interesting use case, right? These are the two use cases: vaccination document processing and invoice processing. So if you consider the hospital, right, we talked about the patient journey. When you are talking about hospital, when patient enter into the hospital, that what is the journey and what is the possibilities. But there is other side also, and I'm talking about these two sides: vaccination document processing and invoice processing. So if you consider hospital also has the doctors and nurses. Now in India it is not mandatory, but in the US it is mandatory that every doctor or the uh, all staff which is working in the hospital, they have to do, they should go through the vaccination. At particular time period they have to do the all kind of vaccination. And usually what happen in US, these are all vaccinations. When you go to the hospital, all vaccinations give the vaccination certificate on the paper, and the tracking was very difficult. So one company approached us saying that so this company was having the mm, I think 50,000. So this is a company which was providing the all kind of doctors and all kinds of healthcare workers to different hospitals, nurses, doctors, and any other services which are required. So they wanted to ensure that their entire staff is vaccinated at the right time. They should not miss the vaccination. So they wanted to build the automated workflow so that alerts can be generated, and alerts can be sent through the emails and through the messaging system. So they approach us saying that these are the reports which you have. Can you read the report, that what kind of vaccination they have taken, whether these vaccinations, because there is a checklist for a doctor. Let's say, for example, this vaccine has to be taken after every 6 months. This vaccine has to be taken quarterly. This vaccine has to be taken yearly, right? So get the read the report, get convert the unstructured data, match with the checklist, and find out whether they are comply. If they are not complied, then can you generate the output and send it to their system so that they can send the alerts to the doctor so that they go through the vaccination program. If they are not doing vaccination, certainly then their entry can be stopped, or they are not they are, or duty cannot be gone. So they wanted to ensure that uh, uh, nothing will miss in this entire journey. And that's where for us it was to build the AI model which are required for vaccination document processing. We built the model, and they then implemented it for their entire their all offices. There's another process that is invoice, right? So when you're talking about the uh, we talk about patient, then we talked about the staff, and there is a back office where they are processing a lot many documents, and those documents, let's for example invoice processing. So one of the hospitals, uh, they wanted to process the different kind of invoices. So let's say, for example, if you consider the hospital, right, they buy uh, drugs. So there are supplier who supplies drugs to them. There are supplier who supplier assist to them. There are laundry supplier. There are waste material supplier. So they have to dispose. So there are services, disposal services, right, where the medical waste has to be disposed. So all these companies which are providing a lot many services to the hospitals, they generate invoices and they send to the hospitals. Every day get multiple invoices, and this entire process is manual. And in that journey, sometimes they miss the invoices, sometimes they there is a wrong data entry, right? Sometimes things get delayed. So that's where they wanted to ensure that everything is in line with the rules and regulations of the hospital. Every customer has to be paid on time, and there should not be any error. There should not be any fraud, because there is quite possible that in manual process fraud can happen. So they also wanted to control the frauds, and that's where they decided that they want to automate the invoice process. So if you are submitting, you send the email on particular email ID, you get the invoice. So there will be a bot which will read the invoice. They will convert unstructured data into structured data. Someone will just validate the data. From there, it will go to the SAP system or ERP system, and from there, automated payments will be generated, and payments will be go to the bank at particular date. So this is another side of the healthcare system. So considering the patient, supporting staff, and the departments which are ensuring that the entire hospital will run without any challenges. So that is the operation part. So where you can use a lot much AI to ensure that the everything is very smooth, uh, and everything is very good. So with this, I am going to close over here for your questions. So if any question, please ask.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, you mentioned about genetic disorders, but
Yes,
if we consider, like most of the data sets that we are getting on the web are related to foreign countries, but genetic makeup of this population is very different from, ours, Indian. So, like,
right.
can you guide us on like which data sets related to genetics are available for Indian population so that we can use them in our further research?
I'm really sorry. I really don't know what is genetic data set available, but I will tell you one thing. One of my friend, he's he works. He's a, I can say that he's a registrar. He's by profession is doctor. He was my classmate as well as cousin. So by profession is doctor, but after a certain point of time he left and he joined academics, and then he went and become the registrar uh, of the university. And when I was interacting, he said that there are a lot many chances that AI can be adopted, right? And then I said that how to share the data. He said that possibly we can collaborate, or we can have certain kind of agreements, and where we can share the data and we can jointly generate something together, right? So why I'm talking about this, and that's where I said earlier that if you are working for a university, and if university has a medical hospital, then certainly you can talk to them, because data is certainly not available. So let's say, for example, I was 2 years back, I was working with one of my colleague. So his daughter has this what, Mm, I forgot the disease, not disease, that late development, what it says, I forgot. So she has certain problem, and so to solve that, it was very difficult to solve that problem, because then he was able to identify very late. Then he went to doctor, and then he said that let's work together, and we can do something, and we can publish some material. Even he went ahead and did his DSc, Doctor of Science, though he was PhD, but he again did another degree, DSc. So what we did, he he took up the data of his own daughter, and then when I was visiting the hospitals, he went to multiple hospitals in Mumbai. He also approached the doctor. He also talked with the different you know, parents of the patients, right? And through group, he collected a lot of data,
Mhm.
and
But
then
if we talk, sir, if we talk about genetic data, the cost of this genome sequencing test is very high, may not be affordable to
I know,
every patient,
yes,
right?
I know,
Because
and
I because I'm doing my research in this domain. So I
yes.
used this cancerous patient data set of genome sequencing. But again, same problem that if I am doing this in India, why not for my own country and why not for my own people? So that was the concern basically. So,
No, I understand your concern, right? And that's where I said that getting data is a real challenge. It is only possible if you talk to hospitals.
mhm.
That is only
Because
possible.
in this case also there will be very limited data, and if we're talking about models like LLM, where we need to have large amount of data. So hope in India also this genome sequence data will be available very soon in such quantity.
No, no. So
So that
just hold on a second. Just hold on a second there. Sir, you don't have to build the entire model on day one because it is highly impossible. Let's
okay.
say, for example, when we talk to the customers, right? I will take the analogy from their customer. So when you talk to the customer, usually nobody believes during the first call. It's very difficult. Let's for example, if you saying that I want to develop the genome based some AI model for the India, it is highly impossible on day one, because then you will require a lot of infrastructure. uh, it is highly impossible that someone will invest in that unless and until they see the value, and that is only possible for the pharma company. And if you consider the pharma company, they have their own budgets, they have their own priorities, so it is highly impossible for you. The starting point can be only building something which is available with the one hospital. If that is built, you will have, let's say for example, you have only 1000 customer data. I say that that is good enough to start with, because then you have something that I have built something you can
Mhm.
showcase to the another one. Then
Okay.
because you have to build the confidence.
Mhm.
Confidence building is much more important.
Okay.
And then once you build that confidence, then you can, then if you go to the next one, because right now you don't have anything to talk about, you need some
Mhm.
story to talk about.
Right.
Okay, I have taken this 1000 patients, I have done this is available, you can see my demo, you can see that this is how the outcomes are going. Now I have to improve the output, can you share the data? So you are showing something which is interesting, which will create interest. Now next hospital possibly will share the data, and this is how you can start building it. Nobody has built everything from the day one, and that's where I said that when Indian research started at IIT Bombay, they started with the Sanskrit language. Then they added another student who was from Kerala. So they
Okay.
started with they added then Malayalam language. Another student from Tamil Nadu, another student from Maharashtra. So
Right.
this how they added multiple student, and they started adding that, right? So if you are doing research, and possibly I don't know where you are working, but if you are in academics, then possibly if you can get the student on the project, and if they
Right.
approach to the hospitals, and if one by
Mhm.
one hospital, if you can get it, possibly you can build it. It will take maybe 3 4 years possibly to have something presentable.
Okay. Thank you.
I will add one more point here. Let's for example, one of area where we work, that is the trade finance. It is for the
Mhm.
banking, and we are working in last almost like was 1.5 year. We have reached up to certain level. Still, we are. I will not say that we are matured. We are building our product, which is useful to the bank. It took almost 1.5 year because we don't have any data. So what we
Right.
started, we created our own data,
Mhm.
which is very similar, and then we presented something to the customer agreed, then customer shared only data for 10 customer. Then
Mhm.
we improved our model, and this is how we improved our model. Now
Okay.
how much data we have? Only for 100 customers, but we are confident that we are ready to go into the market, and we have started going to the market.
Right. Thank you.
Yep. Yes, please, Navdeep, what is your question?
So basically, we are working with one of the government medical colleges over here. So
Mhm.
when we are collecting data, we are having the problem like we are not having we are having outliners, right? Like in anemia, we are not having very a good range is higher than particular level only. So do you think synthetic data will help us in achieving the accuracy in that case or not? Should we go for synthetic data as well?
Yes, you should go for the synthetic data, but only precaution is that first talk to doctor, because not every time cases may not be available, right? So sometime consider, I will give one simple example, fraud, for example. So in fraud, what happen? Fraud happens rarely, right? Out of 900 cases, fraud case maybe one or two. And if I have to build the model, I will not able to build the model. It is highly impossible because my entire data set is imbalance. Now, being data is imbalance, I cannot build the model. So what we usually do, we synthesize the data. Or in our one case, not for the healthcare, but in which was for the bank, because we also work with the bank. So data was not available. So we synthesized the data, we build the model, and we implemented the model over a period. Now we are building that model for last 2 years. Every 2 months we get the data, we find out that what is the data which are outlier kind of data, and we add that into our model, we rebuild, and we again we release it. So you can do that way. You can synthesize the data, you build your model, but being it is healthcare, I will advise that first talk to doctor, not one doctor, talk to at least 2 3 doctors, because usually 3 doctors are recommended, so that you can remove that bias, get the rules from them, what are the rules that you should follow, synthesize the data, then build the model, go back to those doctors, show them, and then you can say that yes, model is good.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anyone has question? Okay, I think there is no question, so possibly we can stop here.
Yes, participant, if any questions, please ask. Participant, any questions? Okay. Okay. So today's session, I thank Manish Godse sir. Today's session was very nice and it is very interactive. So we have got very much input from you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving this session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, participant, fill the feedback. Fill the feedback form.
Ma'am, link is not shared yet.
Okay. Just a minute.
Share, ma'am.